Hey guys, James here with Waterford Business Solutions. And while we talk a lot about kind of the day-to-day accounting, business integrations, business services, and operations that you need to worry about on kind of the KPIs functioning tax-wise of your business, that's not the only thing that we look at here and work with clients on. We also work with a lot of clients on their payroll and even their benefits and solutions that they provide to their employees. And one of the biggest solutions out there that any business should kind of look at is going to be providing a 401k to their employees. And while there's a lot of different solutions out there for 401ks, we wanted to kind of talk about what we have found works best for clients in the long run, rather than going with the easiest or cheapest option. So join us today as we talk about just that. When we're talking 401ks, the biggest complaint that I get from a lot of people is they're so expensive to maintain, they're so expensive to administer, and everything like that. And while there are multiple different ways that you could go ahead and administer it, ultimately 401ks are a situation of you get what you pay for. It's kind of the same thing as what you deal with your accounting or with your taxes or anything like that. It is a legal requirement. It is a tax requirement. There's a ton of back end stuff that you've got to make sure that you stay compliant with. And you do have the ability to go out and use kind of some pre-formulated programs out there. Guideline is a huge one. Both QuickBooks and Gusto recommend or work with Guideline here. If you're using ADP has their own 401k provider. But when we're dealing with these, generally speaking, and more so with Guideline than ADP, but generally speaking, you're going to be dealing with a situation of a pre-packaged plan. It's not tailored specifically to your business needs. They're not going through and spending time discussing with you what you want, how you want it, anything like that. You're going to just kind of sign up. They're going to say, here's this pre-packaged thing. It saves you a bunch of money. I'm not going to deny that at all, because they're not having to spend all the time creating the initial plan documents, all the legal documents, or anything like that. But they're throwing you into a generic box. And many times, this doesn't help clients out. It actually makes it worse for them because they've got less control and less options over what they are doing with their 401k than if they had worked with someone who was focused just on their business. So I personally recommend to my clients, when it comes to 401ks, to work with an independent third-party administrator. Whenever you're working with a 401k company, they're going to be typically called a third-party administrator. That's someone who's administering, doing all of the administrative work for the 401k and all the compliance work, setting up the plan documents, setting up the legal documents, submitting all the legal documents, along with submitting all of the tax return and legal documents that have to be done on an annual basis. There's a lot of compliance situations with 401ks that are required, and you could do it yourself, but it's going to be more time involved. And you can work with these out-of-the-box solutions like Guideline, but it's not going to be tailored to you. Whereas an independent third-party administrator, whether that be someone that is local to where you live, whether that's be someone who was referred to you by a friend, we've got 2 different third-party administrators that we generally work with here that we recommend clients because we've seen great results with them. But a good independent third-party administrator is the first thing they're going to do is sit down and consult with you and go over, okay, here's how a 401k is going to work. Here's what you've got to keep in mind. This is going to be the annual requirements. This is going to be costs that you're looking at. They're going to make sure that you fully understand that entire side of everything. The other thing is they've got your best interest in heart. So they're going to make sure that they're working not only with you, but they're going to also partner with a financial advisor so that that financial advisor can be brought in to work with you and your employees to help them to succeed in their financial goals and their investment goals. The other thing they're going to do is they're going to provide options to give you the best return on investment. While you can go to these all-in-one box solutions, they may not be providing the best types of investments or the best type of funds for you to invest in. And when it comes to a 401k, the funds available to you for you to invest in and the returns on those funds are a huge factor. Personally speaking, ADP has asked us to come to them multiple times, and I've reviewed the funds that ADP has available, and they do not outpace or outmark the funds that I have through my third-party administrator that I work with and the investment company that I work with for my own employees. And while I would save money going to ADP, I won't deny that, it's going to harm my employees and harm their long-term gains in investments. And the point of a 401k is to help those employees save and plan for retirement. So that third-party administrator, they're going to sit down and talk to you about that all up front. A good one will also have a questionnaire. They're going to go through and they're going to say, okay, what other businesses do you own? Do we have an interrelated company issue where while you're offering it, you want to offer it for company A, you also have to offer it to company B due to X, Y, and Z? And does that make financial sense, or do we need to back off of doing a 401k because you can't do that? Do we need to look at another option here? Do you have kids that you might want to invest in to the 401k? So we need to change the age of requirement. What is kind of the vesting schedule that you want? What is the profit share, or how much are you wanting to split with the employees or give back to the employees? Do you want to do straight percentage? Do you want to do half percentages? Are we doing matches? They're going to be able to walk through all of those different scenarios for you and help you understand the pros and cons of each and every one of those. So that's very important, because you've got to keep in mind you're going to be paying your employees and then investing in this 401k above and beyond paying your employees. So we definitely want to make sure that we've got plenty of details here to help you out and for you to have that resource to rely on. They're also going to make sure that all of your compliance paperwork is done, and if you've got questions on it, they're generally pretty easy to reach out to. I've run into issues with clients using Guideline where it takes months to cancel a 401k for an employee, and they keep drawing the money out even though you've put in that it's not accurate there. Whereas with a TPA, you can email your contact there, you can call them up, you can say, hey, this is what's going on, and they're there to fight for you and defend you. That goes a long way. I mean, having that point of contact where you're not talking with a nameless or faceless person behind a chatbot or something like that, that's going to be a big factor of using an independent third-party administrator. Honestly, that's the biggest reason that I like it. I've also run into issues where we get legal notices for a client because of a departed employee or something like that, and we'll reach out to these big box, out-of-the-box companies, and they take weeks to reply or don't know what's going on or anything like that, whereas a third-party administrator, an independent one, should be able to, again, you've got their email, you've got their phone number, you're easily able to contact them. It's just that extra assurance of quality of what's going on. And we want to talk about this right now because we've got to make sure with 401ks that we start looking at setting them up, well, now. We're here at the end of June. We're going to be transitioning into July very soon. We're halfway through the year. And to set up a 401k, they have to be really finalized, set up, everything like that by the end of October. So as of now, you've got about 4 months to set that up. And you need to make sure if that's what you want to do, that you get everything in line. While again, you can go to these out-of-these-box solutions, you can set it up probably in a week, they can get all the paperwork filed. and have you set up within a month, that's great, but that may not be set up the way that you want. And modifying a 401k once it's set up is way more difficult than setting it up in the first place the right way. So ultimately, while it might cost a little bit more upfront to set it up with an independent third-party administrator, and it might cost a little bit more to administer it, you're going to get a lot more benefit out of it in the long run. It's also important to keep in mind that when you set up and start 401ks, there's tax credits involved in that you can apply for and get those tax credits for a period of 3 to 5 years to help recoup some of the management costs and help recoup some of the setup costs there by getting a 1-for-1 reduction. It's a tax credit, so it's a 1-for-1 reduction in your taxable income there. So it's definitely a very smart thing to take a look at there to help you recoup some of the costs. And while you could make money by using one of these out-of-the-box solutions and applying for these tax credits, it'll pretty much cover or mostly cover the cost of using an independent, a more experienced, someone who's going to work with you a lot more in the long run if you decide to use an independent third-party administrator. Employee benefits are, well, they're a rat's nest. There's a lot of compliance things. There's a lot of things you got to keep in mind. You've got to keep the employees happy. You've got to keep the government happy. You've got to keep the payroll system happy. There's a lot of different situations going on with employee benefits. And it really is one of those things that sometimes it's worth spending a bit more money to get good quality out of it. So I definitely recommend, if you're wanting to consider a 401k, look for an independent third-party administrator. If you're looking for someone and don't know who to reach out to, feel free to reach out to us here at Waterford Business Solutions. You can give us a call at give us a call at 864-351-0852 or email us at info@waterfordbusiness.com. We'll be happy to connect you with one of our resources. And if you need help outside of that on employee benefits, payroll, or anything like that, we're here to help there too. I invite you to go ahead and like and share this video with anyone you think might benefit from it, and also subscribe and turn on notifications to our channel so that you get more videos just like this every Monday morning. I look forward to seeing y'all next week, and you have a wonderful rest of your week.